Welcome to the Software People Stories. I'm Shiv.
I'm Chitra.
And I'm Gayatri.
We bring you interesting, untold stories of people
Associated with the creation
or consumption of software-based solutions.
You'll hear stories of what worked,
and sometimes what didn't,
you will also hear very personal experiences.
and insights that would trigger your thoughts
and inspire you to do even greater things.
Before we jump into today's conversation, a special thanks to PM Power Consulting for encouraging and supporting this show right from the start. With over 1,000 person-years of collective experience, PM Power has helped many organizations, teams, and individuals chart out their own journeys of excellence and make progress. Thank you, PM Power. Now, let's move to today's episode. My guest today is Hasan Siddiqui, a veteran in the IT industry who started his career around the same time when I did. He recounts his extensive and diverse career in the software and technology industry, offering valuable insights and advice along the way. He starts with his academic beginnings, influenced by the late Professor V Rajaraman, and traces his journey through various pivotal roles at companies like Burroughs, Unisys, and TCS. He discusses his work on significant international projects, his tenure at CBS, his experiences with matrix organizations, corporate policies, and his eventual transition into academic roles and consulting. Hasan also emphasizes the importance of lifelong learning, maintaining professional relationships, and staying optimistic and adaptable in the ever-evolving tech landscape. Listen on. Hi, HS. Welcome to the Software People Stories.
Yeah. Hello, Shiv Gurus. Nice connecting with you after a long time.
Yeah. So I'm sure there is a lot to catch up on.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Before we get into that, we'll start with your origin story.
Okay.
Even though we worked together for a while, we know a little bit about each other, but then it's good to start from the beginning.
Right.
What got you into IT, and then what has been your rough career trajectory and all that, then we'll take it from there.
Right. Well, to talk about the start of my career, I should first pay tribute to Professor V Rajaraman, who just passed away a few days back.
Yeah.
And he was my BTech project guide. And at that time, as you know, computer science was not offered at the BTech level, so it was all EE. But my interest was in computer science. And I managed to persuade him to become my project guide.
Yeah.
And that's how he gave some direction to my career. So, and then of course, the companies that used to visit, Tata Burroughs was considered like a top among the top companies. So I got hired from campus. So that's how I started, and of course joined in June 81, and that's where we met. So that's a starting point. The first company was Tata Burroughs, which became, of course, Tata Unisys, then Tata Infotech, and now TCS.
So what have been the projects or the roles that you've been playing all these years?
I think it was very interesting, coming from campus and then, joining a work life. That itself, is a big step in anybody's life. And all of us have to, adjust to it accordingly. So we were, of course, all, in the suits and ties, and, we had our, big lunch welcome by, from Professor, not Professor, Dr. Hibalkar. So he was there and at Sea Rock in Bombay. So, and then we were brought to Seeps, where the office was. And then there was a short, introduction of the company by some of the seniors, primarily Mr. Swaz Patak. And he told us a few things, and then after some time, he casually said that we have to assign your LOB, line of business.
Okay.
Okay, so first we had to kind of get used to what is line of business. So then he told us a little bit. And the things that he said, of course, we could not relate to what we did in the campus. So he said one is called competitive systems, one is called conversion, one is mini micro, one is special systems. And then he said that each one of you has to give three choices. So we were wondering what the hurry is all about. You've just come and kind of, but he said no, he wants it now. So we gave our choices, and out of just like a guesswork, I said competitive systems, conversion, and maybe something else, one of the domains probably. So we gave our papers back, and after 1 hour he came back, and he said that there's a project which has come from France, and we are going to select a team based on your choice of the LOBs.
Oh.
And then he said this project is allocated to the conversion LOB. And then he read out 10 names. So mine was one of them. So that's how I got selected. And I was a person not very excited about going overseas at that point of time. So it's a kind of a bit of a surprise that I seem to be among the first to have been selected from that batch. Then the next thing that he surprised us with, okay, these 10 people, all 10 of you have to start attending a French course from tomorrow evening after work hours. Okay. So that was interesting. I mean, French is something one always likes to learn a foreign language. So that was nice. The surprise was that Dr. Hibalkar himself was also a student in that. So he was the 11th student in that class, So that's how, the preparation for the project started. Not so much about, what the project is, what language, what all we have to do. We just knew that it's a conversion project. And our project leader and the LOB head were already in Paris doing the initial design, and then a team was supposed to join 6 weeks later. So that's where we started, and the client was the CRCA, which is basically the Agricultural Bank of France. And it was a conversion project where we were using the Sakov filter. So that was our, the first thing that we learned. What is a filter? So, and then we were at that time, of course, we were Burroughs. So it was a medium system to large system conversion and those kind of things. So, so that was quite interesting. And of course, we land up in Paris and all excited, the fashion capital of the world. So those type of things. So then meeting all the people from another culture, that was and speaking or trying to speak in another language, because we had not mastered the language. We just knew the key words. So there used to be a lot of sign language in between to fill up our communication. So that was interesting. They were also quite amused, So, but the people from France, they always appreciate if somebody tries to speak in the language. They like it. So that was good. And of course, we started there was a bunch of programs and all those things. And there was hardly any, training. But then some set of programs were allocated to each one of us in the team. And I was allocated all programs which had something called port files.
Okay.
Now, port files is like a IPC interprogram communication, in COBOLs. And I never heard of port files. So and all the material was in French.
Oh, okay.
So, of course, then I had to very quickly buy a French dictionary. And, at least get to know, some of the key things and the key attributes and other things. But it was exciting, the whole project, and a lot of things to learn from that. And the same thing happened, after I came back. Then, of course, there was after I was back, I was in SEEPs for little bits of time and then sent to Swift.
Okay.
So there, another surprise was waiting, that now we went straight into requirement studies.
Oh.
Okay, so now that's a different type of jump.
Mm-hmm.
And here it's all documents and to read a lot and then get back, and then it goes to Belgium, comes back up and down, and in between we had a group meetings to do design and things like that. And the design was mostly on the database side, on this security side, and they had something called a dual geographic storage. So they wanted the data to be stored on both sides of the Atlantic.
Okay.
So, those type of things. So it's a different type of learning in Swift. And what made it, even more, what made it, feel very comfortable was that all of us were from Tata Burroughs, 30 to 40 of us. So it was like extending our SEEPs facility to Culpeper. Of course, we were surprised by the size of the city, just about 5,000 people. Out of that, if 50 to 60 are Indians, then it's a big surprise for the people of the city also. So, but it was nice. We were well taken care of. Our accommodations were arranged and everything was there. And Dr. Hibalkar used to come, and he made it a point to come and check out, how we were, staying and things like that. We all comfortable and all that stuff. And then when he went back from Swift, which was after, I think, almost 2 years that stay there. So he went back, and then came another assignment in Germany, in Nuremberg. Here again, the same thing happened, because at that time, there was no like client interviews and things like that. So that's something which the new generation, I think, won't believe, that that time to just giving the resume and, what they call the body shopping mode. So all that I knew, that was something to do with X.25 protocols. Okay, and that was something in Algol, so quite different. And then I went. I was the only one, so it was not in a group.
Okay.
So I was the only one who went to Nuremberg, and there, similar surprise waited for me as in France. I was given some documentation all in German.
Okay.
Okay. So again, I quickly ran to my bookshop and got a German dictionary this time.
Yeah.
So then in the night I sat and I kind of translated whatever I could, so that I know next day I could be productive from day one itself. So that was a 3-month project. So enjoyed that. So that was primarily I think the main projects which were there at Tata Burroughs. And of course, that's where I met you all and made friends with so many people there. So, and that bonding has stayed. So that's a great thing. And one of the big thing which I think will surprise many is that I'm still in touch with my client in France, even after 44 years. I'm still in touch on Facebook and WhatsApp, and we discuss football whenever there is a World Cup, finals and all that. I have to make sure that I support France, because the clients there, they are in touch with me, so they make sure I care for France. So that was quite interesting there. So that is, I think, my Tata Burroughs tenure, the first one. I'll quote the first one. Later down the line, you'll see some unique things happened after that. So then the same Tata Burroughs people somehow they've all wanted to migrate to US and all those things, the typical migration. And a couple of companies were there in US which were kind of built from the resources and manpower from Tata Burroughs. I got a call from them. Company name was Complete Business Solutions. And they called me out of nowhere. And they asked me to join. Again, no interviews. And founder, he came over to Bombay. We had a car ride from Nariman Point to Seats.
Oh, okay.
We chatted, got along, and that's it.
Oh.
And now I'm back to Swift again, but in wearing another hat. Okay, now I'd moved into products. Okay, so this was the company was called CBS. So basically, you can call it a CBS product, which was being developed in Swift, but the people around me were all Tata Burroughs.
Okay.
Okay, so I was not on the Swift network itself, but I was on this particular product, which was to do with software configuration management.
Okay.
It was called Simple, SIMPL. So I worked on that for almost a year. And within that, my role kept changing. So I was doing a little bit of, customization for Swift. The next thing I knew, the boss told me that you have to start doing pre-sales and marketing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I then, I was going all over US and giving demos. And I was even sent to UK to do some partnership with companies there who can help in marketing in Europe. So the work suddenly changed. So I'm off the technical thing and gone into product marketing and supports. And got a chance to visit Swift in Belgium and the Netherlands also. So my Swift connection remained the same. And Tata Burroughs people all around me, the same people. And then, we thought we'll return to India. That's what always I aim. We had no kind of intention of settling in US. Always wanted to come back. So then, I thought the best thing is why not go back to Tata Burroughs?
Okay.
And I had breakfast with Mr. Sarup Krishna.
Okay.
So he, of course, is a very jovial and person. So we had a good discussion with him, and we he sent us offer letter after returning to India.
Okay.
So a few months later, I was kind of back in Tata Burroughs. One step which I forgot is before that, I also did the account management for Swift for CBS.
Okay.
So again, a shift from products to account management, where it was totally and completely non-technical. Because Swift was like the bread and butter account for CBS, so it had to run properly and the billing and everything happening on time and all those things.
Yeah.
So the strange part was that I'm Tata Burroughs and CBS and back to Tata Burroughs. So and the very amusing thing was when I entered SEEB's reception after a big gap of a few years. The receptionist pulled out, a case of my specs, which I had lost sometime a few years back on my local train.
Oh, wow.
And he said, "Welcome back. So your project is over. So here are specs which somebody gave." So okay, so he's thinking I'm still continuing with that's a pretty interesting thing. So I also didn't correct him. I said, "Yeah, fine. So thanks a lot." So it's like a continuity into Tata Burroughs, right till 94.
Was the eye power the same still, or had it changed?
Pardon me?
Could you use the specs? Was the eye power still the same?
My eye power, actually, I can do without specs even now, but because too much of screen time and just for protection, I do that. I had a very mild, power, which after my first project. So I started using specs only for, when I'm working on the screen, or I'm watching a movie, because I'm a fairly big, this thing fan of Indian movies also. So the doctor told me you better carry your specs with you. So I was doing that. So that's where we were till 94. And then again, this unique thing happens. The founder of CBS, his name is Mr. Rajavati Kuti, so which some people may be knowing or not. So they decided to start an offshore center in Bangalore.
Okay.
Now he calls me and he says, "Why don't you come and run our Bangalore center?" So it kind of put me in a dilemma because I did want to move out of Bombay, and I was thinking I'll ask for a transfer to Tata Unisys. I think it had become at that time.
Yeah.
But now here I'm getting another offer from another boss of mine. So I accepted that because I had a good rapport with him. So there was a kind of a rapport with a boss is always a very great thing. So I accepted that. So it became very interesting. My career starts with TBL, goes to CBS, goes back to TBL, and goes back to CBS. So,
Yeah.
so it's a double kind of this thing. So that's how I came to Bangalore and the Golden Enclave there in Airport Road. That's where the old airport was, which was much more convenient than what it is today. So, so I was the center head there for the Bangalore CBS. So we had to kind of build it up. It was just a small, team. And again, the main client was Swift. So Swift never really left me. So only thing is this was more of Swift of Belgium.
Okay.
So that's where our client was. So, and more to do with the banking and those kind of things. So that's how it went till about I think 98. And then in 98 there was some restructuring which happened in CBS, and it was going to merge and become Coansys.
Okay.
So then I thought I'll see if there's something better outside. So I approached a few. At that time, there used to be a lot of these, all these, these ABC consultants and other guys who used to help us. And they sent me to the Satyam office in Bangalore, which is now is Tech Mahindra. And those guys said, "We don't have a vacancy, but you have vacancies in Pune."
Okay.
So. And this company was structured as an SBU wise. So there's an SBU Pune, there's an SBU Bangalore, there's an SBU Hyderabad.
Okay.
And just a few days later, there's a team from Pune which came and met me, and they wanted somebody from Unisys background.
Oh.
Okay. So by that time, Unisys mainframe was not that popular. So finding Unisys A series and all those things was not so easy. And but they saw that on my CV, and I was hired for Pune. And that's how my tenure in Pune started. So Bangalore got over, and and I've been in Pune since '98. And here I again I was lucky. I got a very good SBU head. His name is Mr. Anil Kekre. And why I want to mention his name is because he passed away pretty early in an accident, but he was like a very good guide and a very good human being. So his way of working and giving space to his managers to operate it was remarkable, and that's what I learned a lot from, and probably became important for my career. So when I landed and joined in Pune, the work there was totally different. He said that, look, we've hired you for a particular account in Netherlands with the Dutch telecom.
Okay.
And he said, what you have to do is you have to break into this account. You're not being able to break into this account. So I asked him, I said, isn't that a sales job? You have a salesperson there who's posted in Amsterdam. So why do you need a delivery person to? He said, no, they are not being able to, somehow get into the with the client. So we want a fresh approach, So you think about it and you see what's the best way to approach and you do something. So I was sent off to Netherlands, to the KPN headquarters, and with the challenge that I will manage it alone and no sales guy will accompany me.
Okay.
So that's a pretty interesting challenge. So because here's a client who is reluctant to move to offshore, who doesn't even want to, in fact, do outsourcing. So forget about offshore. And the mandate for me is to start what is called the ODC in India for them. So fortunately, the person I met, a very decent person from the KPN. It was called KPN. That's the Dutch telecom name. Just as we have KLM as the alliance of this KPN was the Dutch telecom.
Okay.
And I made him an offer. I said that first 1 month we'll send you a guy, and if you're comfortable with this one person, then we'll take it up further, and there'll be no charges for him. We said we won't charge you. So if he blends with your team and you feel that somebody from another culture can work with your team, then we can move to the next step.
Okay.
So we agreed that it was no loss for him, just a free 1 month. When we sent this guy and he did a very decent job, so that one person became 5 and 10 and then 20.
Oh, nice.
So it started with the on-site thing, and then I gave him the proposal for offshores. And by that time, the confidence, building the confidence of the customer is always key. So he said, okay, let's start with in small parts, let's start the offshore part. So that happened, and then once one department of the Dutch telecom saw something different happening, it excited the other departments.
Okay.
So then I started traveling around within Netherlands, different centers of the KPN Dutch telecom, and it became a pretty big ODC in Pune.
Okay.
And then kind of a restructuring happened back home in India with Satyam, now Tech Mahindra. From this SBU structure that I was talking about, they moved to a matrix organization.
Okay.
Okay, so that is, they have these horizontal technical units and the vertical domain units. So I was allocated to the telecom vertical unit.
Okay.
And interestingly, the head of that unit was sitting in Bangalore.
Oh.
Okay, now I've come from Bangalore to Pune, and I'm now reporting back to Bangalore. And the head is the same person who told me there are no opportunities in Bangalore and there are opportunities in Pune. So,
Okay.
So it's quite interesting, to these kind of coincidence and things like that. So I got into this kind of, you can say, a matrix kind of organization. So a lot of travel to Bangalore every month. And then obviously my scope of my responsibility expanded. So it was not just, Pune, it became Pune, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. So that kind of stuff. And a second client which became very big was Intel, which, as you know, in Bangalore has a big center there.
Yeah.
And I was lucky to get into build a good rapport with the Intel head there.
Okay.
And then we set up a kind of you can say, ODC for them, but on site in Bangalore itself.
Okay.
And again, the same thing happened. Both delivery and sales were in my hands. So my boss was a little upset with that. The salespeople were a bit upset. They said that, here is an account which is growing and there is no salesperson associated. There's only a delivery person. So they tried to push a salesperson in. But the Intel person said, no, I don't think we want 2 contact points.
Uh,
One is enough,
yeah.
including billing, including making contracts.
Mm.
So I got this almost full-time job of an end-to-end kind of management for the ODC. So they
That's
gave me
good.
an account into the invoicing system, into everything. So I was kind of even doing the invoicing for the company.
Okay.
So that was another interesting and fulfilling kind of work.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing an end-to-end, something for a client, which is including delivery, including the billing,
Yeah.
including the business development. So that's how my career has gone till, or rather, it went till I think till 2000, maybe 19, 2002, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2002. Why I wanted to mention is that in the course of our conversation today, I also want people, the new gen, to pick up small tips for their careers. So that it helps them, and that's where I had the first encounter of what I would call corporate politics. Okay, that is how to operate skillfully in a matrix organization. Okay, so because you have a dotted line and you have one fixed line, and you have to be careful, because especially if the locations don't see eye to eye at a top management level, then the next level has to be careful how they move forward. So that's where I got my first encounter with corporate and the politics, and how to manage, operate in a matrix organization.
Okay.
And of course, there was Hyderabad also, which was the headquarters. And luckily, I had the head of HR was a very understanding person.
Okay.
He had warned me right up front when the restructuring happened. He said that with Bangalore, you're going to have a little bit of problem. So, but stay cool, stay calm, and in case you have a problem, contact me. So already it was known that there could be some, conflict because of the two locations.
Okay.
So it was a big, I think, learning for me to operate in that kind of environment, and but also became the cause of my finally, getting a bit kind of burnt out, and then looking for opportunities outside.
Okay.
And that's how I moved to Can Bay. So, and that's where I guess we met after a long time.
Yeah, right. I remember.
So, Can Bay had a different type of structure. Just as Swift was a major account for CBS, for Can Bay, their biggest account was HSBC.
Okay.
And that was called the Global Delivery Center. So it was more than 2,000 people. More than 2,000 means almost more than half the organization.
Okay.
And to head that is not easy. So though it was about a few years old, GDC, and it was kind of settled, and it had a good management structure already there. But I had to kind of step into a position which is already running smoothly. Now I have to, so it was more the operational kind of responsibilities rather than the business development.
Okay.
Because that was taken care of by a team sitting in US, in Chicago. So my work was more in Pune.
Okay.
So, but 2,000 people was not a small thing. And it was kind of almost running the company, the GDC. So the HSBC, that is GDC leadership, was involved in all decision making of the company also. So a lot to learn from Can Bay and their way of working, but it was an American culture, not the Indian culture, but the American culture. So a totally different way of working. a lot of trips to and fro and management meetings quarterly in both locations. But I enjoyed that. So it was a different way of working, different people. And the challenges came only after Can Bay said that now let us split the GDC into multiple locations.
Okay.
So they wanted a center in Hyderabad also.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I got into the challenge of breaking one account of 2000 and moving a logical chunk to Hyderabad, and at the same time oversee the whole thing seamlessly. So that was a very interesting, tenure and experience for me. So that went on for a few years, 3-4 years. So it gave me a nice opportunity to go to Hyderabad and have some good food there, and then come to Pune and those kind of things. So those have mostly been my major kind of tenure. And at the end of I worked there for 4-5 years, but then again there was a restructuring, and as you know, Can Bay merged into Capgemini.
Yeah.
So at that time there was a lot of change at the top. So what I thought, I'll take a break. So I thought, why not move into something which is totally different from delivery operations? So I contacted a person I knew in the Symbiosis Management Institute. You must have heard of Symbiosis.
Yeah.
So she was the director of the Symbiosis Institute of Technology. So she said, why don't you come and become a professor?
Okay.
And start teaching the MBA IT stream.
Uh,
So now this was a new stream that started then. So now it's not just the regular MBA, this is MBA IT. So they were all engineers.
okay.
And the major, the specialization is in information technology. So I found myself doing, conducting courses in, ERP and a mixture of management, which is entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And, those kind of things. Customer relationship, which they looked at as my, experience area. So I took courses in customer relationship, and I followed the workshop method, and I conducted courses for almost a semester.
Oh.
So learned the world of academics. So after engineering, now I'm back on the other side of an academic institute. And then since I was there, then there was a vacancy, and I was asked to become the deputy director there. So, which is equivalent to a dean, basically.
Okay.
So the work suddenly changed from the classroom. It became more of the managing the group of lecturers, and the curriculums and events and those kind of things. So that was a good change. It kind of refreshes you and things like that. But at the same time, I thought that maybe IT was more the comfort, my area where I was comfortable, and it shouldn't take a big gap from this particular, my own main core area of IT. And then I did a strange thing again. I called Satyam, to still Satyam and not Tech Mahindra.
Okay.
And they said, yeah, you come back. We need somebody with who can handle customer relationship. So one more, jump back into where I was in the past. And that's one of the lessons to people who might see this podcast, is that keeping good connections with your prior employer and not burning bridges is very important. So, so what made it easy for me is just to contact somebody with whom, I was on good terms, and I was back to my earlier employers. So I was with them and we had a good time with a similar kind of role.
Yeah.
But then I was asked to take a transfer to Hyderabad. But then that I was not comfortable with because my family was quite deeply entrenched in Pune. Children are,
Yeah.
used to the schools here and grown up, and so it was the wrong time for me to make a change.
Yeah.
And that's when I joined Zensar
Okay.
as their vice president in their delivery of the Americas. So again, a similar work, a lot of operational, a lot of ODCs were there. So like Cisco was the big one, and Marks and Spencer was there. So there's a big variety out there. So that again was a different type of work. But again, by this time, delivery was being looked at as another phase for sales. It became a similar kind of situation. I think the client by this time had become very smart. They said they know sales people will give a sales pitch, and the guys at the back is the delivery people who are giving, doing all the pre-sales, writing the proposals, and those kind of things. So they would rather meet the the head of delivery than the head of sales.
Yeah.
So it was again, it's a changing landscape. So even today, I think it's the technical people or the sales people become tech savvy and talk in their language.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So that was an interesting time with the Zensa technology. So that kind of sums it up. I had a short tenure with Datamatics in Mumbai, but then I took an early kind of retirement, you can say. But that was more for family reasons, because my daughters both got jobs and both are ITs. Okay. So I said, let me look at IT through their lens. And they got jobs in pretty. In fact, the same companies where I'd already worked. Okay. So I said, now let me live, the IT life through, through my daughters. And I myself started doing other things, which was, I said, let's go into some social causes. Let's see what we can do in help other people, give back to, society, to my alma mater. And I also started writing books, which I published. Because it's a new thing. So, that's how, things have been going forward. But I've been keeping myself updated with the latest technology. So when suddenly, AI boom started and people started talking about ChatGPT and all those things, the first thing I did was I took a certification in prompt engineering. Okay. And then I did multiple courses on other subjects. But then what I saw that however fast I may take certification, things was changing even rapidly. Suddenly became, data science demand, then became a cybersecurity demand, But the good part was I was being able to stay in touch because of my children. They were also moving with the technology. And then they married boys who were also in ITs. Okay, so one is in AI, one is in Salesforce. Okay, so I'm in touch with technology indirectly through my families. So that's kind of in a nutshell. I don't know how much time I've taken of yours, but how things went.
I think we probably can still go for about 10 more minutes or so. But I'll do a little bit of a deep dive in a few things which would definitely be very useful. You also kind of mentioned, one, whether it was new languages or new organizations, new geographies, and even new roles. How have you approached learning?
See, learning for me is, firstly, it's a continuous process. Okay, we all have to be hungry for knowledge. Okay. At the same time, let's say the training department or the HR of the company, they have to believe that they have to keep their employees updated. Okay. So as an example, I'll tell you, in let's say Can Bay, okay, which is kind of the one of the recent ones. I did a full, complete management executive course in ISB, Indian School of Business.
Okay.
That was sponsored by them. Okay. Similarly, in fact, in Tata Burroughs itself, there used to be a lot of courses, the corporate courses. And some people used to be sent to TMTC in Pune and have these residential courses of 4 days and 5 days and all those things. So the soft skills side was being taken care of from the company side, but the technical skills, I think the individual himself has to have the hunger and the interest. So even in Tata Burroughs, there used to be a lot of change from the Unisys side in different technologies, and fortunately, management backed me in that. So, for example, I requested to attend a seminar in Belgium on some of the new technology areas that Unisys was getting into, and I was allowed to travel and attend and keep myself, up to date. So, emerging technologies and things are moving so fast, but the new gen it is become even more important.
Yeah, technology.
Because somehow our educational system has not stayed up to date, and they may still be lagging, behind. So it's up to the individual to make sure he stays with the latest. And with our online, this courses being available and everything available online, there's no excuse. It's made things so easy.
Yeah. So I can understand learning technology or technical stuff, and then you can probably do that. But then you also done things where you said suddenly when you have to manage 2,000 people, right? It's probably less technology and more people skills, customer skills, and that. And when you said you were doing some pre-sales, developing relationships and so on, or when you got teaching.
Right.
After this one thing, but it is also about the whole instructional methodology, or I don't know, whatever else you had to learn.
Right.
But that is something you have to pick up and deliver, right? It's not that I'll go attend a course and then I come back.
Right. See, the 2,000 people, it may sound like a big number, but it was split into different groups, which were mapped to the client organization. So in my team, there was a group of senior delivery heads. Each senior delivery head is looking after one particular, kind of, business unit of the client. So that makes things easier. So it's not that I was totally alone in managing the 2,000 people. There's a bunch of very senior guys who are working with me. And then there's a bunch of senior people sitting in Chicago also on site who are taking care of the front ending with the client. And there were a lot of regular meetings between the client and between us. We were visiting them, they were visiting us almost every 2-3 months. From a client perspective, we were taking care of things. From a people's perspective, we used to have weekly meetings. So though I was not exactly kind of hands-on into the day-to-day project operations, but being the head of the delivery operations, I was still the single point for all escalations. I was also the single point for status reporting of the entire 2,000 people, some 7 to 8 units. So weekly, the status reporting I had to do, the entire escalation points I had to handle. So I was not hands-on as far as the project, the projects were concerned. But when it came to escalation, whether it was a security problem or some other issue, it could be a staff issue, or whether it was, things like suppose the client suddenly decides to do their audit. Then I would be the one who would be in charge of conducting that audit across the 2,000 people.
Okay.
Okay, so the overall kind of thing, the holistic things were being dealt by me.
Okay.
And then one thing I forgot to mention, an interesting thing happened that while the GDC of HSBC was with Can Bay, simultaneously they opened their GCC, which has become now, at that time it was called GLT, that started in parallel along with the GDC.
Oh.
So now it became very interesting. It's almost like a competition with them. So we have our own GDC and we have the GLT. And they were in Pune.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So now things have moved from Chicago to Pune. So now I was the one maintaining relationship with the GLT in Pune, and then there's this team which is keeping holding the fort in Chicago.
Okay.
So one new added work for me, and that was handling the relationship with the GLT in Pune.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the way it was. And to keep people motivated, one of the most interesting things in Can Bay is they themselves were highly people-oriented. They believe in a lot of team building programs, cultural programs, team building outings to different cities.
Okay.
So that all used to be, I had to oversee all those events, and that used to keep them going.
Okay.
So it was a very good atmosphere for youngsters.
Yeah.
So I think our time things were more stable. Large companies, now we have so much of startups. But there's the new gen should not get disheartened with all these GCCs coming up.
Yeah.
There are at least 2,000 GCCs in India.
Yeah.
And now it's moved from the regular maintenance support work to innovation and R&D.
Yeah.
So new technologies. So people shouldn't be disheartened. A lot of people ask, so what's next for IT, because things seem to be, with H1B closing down, the big IT majors lagging behind a little bit.
Yeah.
But I tell them just hang on. So, just stay technical. Don't be a generalist.
Yeah.
Stay technical and stay in the hybrid zone, and things will work out.
Yeah. So if you rapid fire questions, at least some tips, and then maybe we will catch up later or this. One of the things that I noticed is that your strong ability to build relationship and network. Maybe some 3 tips for networking or 5 tips for networking, particularly for people who are entering the industry.
Well, when you say networking, and networking can be at various levels. One is the relationship with your own team. One could be the relationship with the customer. And one, of course, is the relationship with your bosses. So you have to work closely with your boss, understand him. You have to work well with the people, give them space. Okay, not do micromanagement and beat down their neck.
Yeah.
And give them opportunity and challenges in their careers. And particularly the client, you have to win their confidence. Okay, so for example, in Intel, it's a very tough client. And they, by that time, were used to interview people before allowing them in their team. And they interviewed about 8 people, and then they got back to me and they said, hey, we are not happy with the 8 guys we spoke to. And I said, look, in half an hour that you talk to an individual, you're not going to evaluate how he is, because I'm the one sitting here. I'm the supervisor. I know them better. So you just trust me, and you take these 8 people. If you don't like it, send them back. So it's a gamble that one has to play. And it paid off. They trusted me, and they had confidence, and it worked. So a rapport with the client is extremely important.
Now, for someone who has been so active and also doing so many things, as you said, constantly learning and all that, how do you handle retirement, which seems to indicate, and Sabindas maybe kind of stay away from most things?
See, retirement. Firstly, I won't use the word retirement. I think it's just another phase, and age is just a number. That's the way I kind of look at it. So when I went off active work, I still didn't consider that I'm retired. Firstly, you have to kind of set a routine for yourself, to be doing some things. And so even now, I know it's a Sunday, it's a Saturday, it's a weekend, now it's a Monday. So I still keep the routine in my head. Okay. So there's a lot of work I'll do Monday or Friday, which may not be coding and those things which I was doing during my employment, but I would be doing something or the other. It could be writing, it could be some NGO work, or it could be just attending courses. And I did a lot of courses. I must have done at least a dozen. Because as I used to read something new, whether it was technology or HR. So, for example, I got certified for DEI. I'm also a certified professional coach. Okay. So I'll always be in the mode of, I'm not retired, I'm ready to do, if something comes up.
Wonderful. Now, you also said you written some books.
Yeah, I wrote some books.
What are these about?
Well,
non-fiction?
Well, it started actually with books on poetry.
Okay. Nice.
I don't know how I got into that. My wife keeps asking me, how did you get into this? Okay, so I also don't know how I got into it. It could be because maybe my father, he was an English professor, so maybe I've got something from him. So I went too much into the analysis of, especially the poetry which has some depth and meaning in it. Some life philosophy and those type of things. And then that took me into writing books. I said, why not write a book about my career? So I wrote a book called Beyond the Business Schools, which is there on Amazon. Where I've written about my career, and I've given tips to the youngsters. And, I have to, of course, go back and update it because so many things are changing. So that's essentially how things are going. And I don't feel that I'm free and idling at any point of time. Of course, the good thing that happens is I get some time to take a nap in the afternoon. So that's the interesting kind of things which I can do. But I'm always open and always ready to interact. And like I said, with my daughters and sons-in-law also in IT, I'm kind of always in touch with them on what they are doing. And they are all into the emerging technologies. And one of them has written a book on AI. So
maybe writing books runs in the family. Yeah.
So I think it's some new stuff which is happening.
Okay, two more quick questions. This should probably be asking. You said you watch a lot of movies, right? Any favorites from the recent past, which is lighthearted, more comedy-ish, whatever, not too serious?
Well, firstly, my film craze runs from childhood. It carried on into IT, and I was the film secretary there in IT.
Okay.
So I was the one who was, getting all the movies for, the whole institute. And I was the one who used to face all the, get all the bricks if the movies were bad. Okay, so I had to make the right selection of both English and Hindi movies. So even though, now things have changed, there's a lot of new, new generation of actors and actresses. I'm still from the old school watching old movies. So you will still find me watching Casablanca and Godfathers. Among the old movies. And the new movies, the new gen movies, I don't really like the kind that are being produced now. So you'll be surprised, but I switched to South Indian movies. So there's some movies which are like a remake from from Telugu to Tamil to Hindi. So I said, why don't I see all the versions of all the regional languages? That gives me a chance to get used to cultures within India itself. India itself is multicultural. The same movie in 3-4 languages. That's another interesting experience for the evenings.
Nice. Okay, one last question. With all these different things that you are engaged in,
Yeah.
do you have any personal practices to stay grounded?
I think main thing is we have to keep mind positive. Of course, the lifestyle has to change. We can't eat junk food the same way we were eating. I was eating in France, so I can't go to McDonald's the same way. So I'm more conscious of my food and of course, do a little bit of exercises here and there. And just be careful that we're not 25. We may feel like 25, but we're not 25. So but stay positive. And I have grandsons, so I can live my childhood also through them. So they keep me young, my children and my grandchildren.
Thanks once again.
Okay, thanks a lot, Shiv.
We thank Siddharth for the music and Anita for promoting the Software People stories.
If you like this episode,
please subscribe on your favorite podcast client
and spread the word in your network.
If you'd like to share your story,
contact us at podcasts@pm-powerconsulting.com.